Hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the last episode, we were just recapping the case. Hopefully, we can find some new clues scattered amongst the story. Now then, Sakura said, next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
It is. It has a lot of moving parts. However, if you ignore certain red herrings, it becomes significantly easier to digest.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them.
That's a good idea.
Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Alright. Make your argument. What have we got? The wristwatch.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
He did.
Or perhaps it was after?
Before.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Ah! Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. Makes me think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere. I should have listened to the entire thing.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The order that the Justice Hammers were used to commit the murders. Again, that was another wonderful piece of misdirection by Celeste. It's beautiful. Something about that is bothering me.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before
This seems
Hifumi,
right to me.
or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Oh no, we need to grab. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
Shoot!
Oh shit, how do I grab stuff?
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died
Oh
before
god, I want to
Hifumi,
say it's a hold.
or perhaps it was after?
We already know
Yeah, I
what order
can't
they were
remember
killed in.
what.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice
No,
hammers.
how'd you get...
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
Oh, I missed
while
it.
Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's
Okay,
obvious
it's fine.
Taka came
It's
after.
fine. We got like 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes. And I know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing.
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died
I always
before
forget
Hifumi,
to look
or
up
perhaps it was
the
after?
buttons before the
We
class
already
trials.
know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
There we go.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
Okay, I'm prepared.
while
I'm
Taka's
prepared.
death
Next
came
time
from a
around.
swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Okay, yep.
So,
Go.
regarding Taka's death,
Oh, I'm waiting.
I
I'm
wonder
waiting,
if he
Owie.
died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
No, that's wrong.
I got there eventually.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
A wonderful, wonderful bit of misdirection. Agatha Christie would have been proud.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
And we have his broken wristwatch as proof.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Broken wristwatch. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was something. Okay, Hangman's Gambit. Tell me it's wristwatch. It's wristwatch! Where is a W? I can't spell. We need an S. There's T. W. T. I'm looking for a C. And now a H. Come on, H. H. There we go.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey! You! How long were you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
Oh, that's right. Just start picking up all the holes, Makoto. Do it.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
Do they? Because Hifumi died when we were all separated. The only people who have alibis are Sakura and Hina because they were the only people who were together.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Nope, only 2 of us. And yeah! I don't appreciate that I have to keep doing this death cry with a migraine. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi! He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
Not so.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Are we? Are we, Jill?
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
Hero, I appreciate that you are throwing theories out, even though you are incorrect. However, it's not quite right. However, like, he's on the right path. I'm kind kind of impressed here.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
And immediately he crumbles like, throw out a theory! It's whatever.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
That statement is actually true. We have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Unfortunately, Hifumi didn't scream when he died.
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Mm-hmm. You were. And Celeste sounded ever so nervous about that, don't you think?
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
Again, there is not a cat in hell's chance that either of them could have dragged Hifumi's body up 2 sets of stairs onto the 3rd floor. The only person who could have done that was Hifumi himself, because Hifumi is used to walking around.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
A good tactic.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
He just got up. He was fine, he just got up.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
I can never remember the Sherlock Holmes quote. At least I'm pretty sure it's Sherlock Holmes that... it's like... Once you, examine the facts, no matter how improbable what remains has to be the truth. I can never remember that quote, but I think that fits this situation very well.
And according to what Celeste said...
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the 1st floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
There is only one person. Just one.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Except for one person.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Thank you! I'ma grab that.
The dead body moved on its own?
Yep, don't, it's not zombies. It's not zombies, love. It's far more mundane.
No! Not another... ghost!
No.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Again, I'm so confused about what is going on with Byakuya because his thoughts are aligning with mine, and I don't like it. I don't trust it. Where are you going with this, buddy? Where are you going?
He was alive?
Yep.
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
It is the simplest solution, and sometimes the simplest solutions are the best.
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Did you check his pulse?
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Liar! The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Make your argument. Okay. I'm gonna go with Celeste's account.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Okay, and then I think I've got this. But the body discovery announcement was only made once. That much I'm sure of. And it was for Taka.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I think I've got this. I only have 3 hearts left, so I'm being rather
And you know that how?
rather conservative here.
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
And right after the other group discovered Taka.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Do you want to question the homicidal bear about that, love?
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
Hero! Don't antagonize him!
No, actually, that was plenty.
Also, Byakuya is correct. If it only plays, like the first time you discover a body, then it wouldn't have played when we found Taka and Hifumi in the repository.
Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. And the second time was when both bodies were rediscovered.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
I sincerely hope I don't have to voice Monokuma again with this headache I have, Jesus.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
Yup.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Now you're getting it, Sakura. Come along on this journey.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Oh, okay, Jill, you have jokes. We know this. Can you please not?
That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
I'm with Celeste.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
The cleaning cloth.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Because you don't want to get executed. There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Okay. I think I know where the game is going here. Let's go with
Well, here's one thing we do know.
glasses.
The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Yes, there was.
No, it's wrong!
So glad I waited, Ben.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence I found in the trash can in the nurse's office was, it was the cleaning cloth. Yes, who throws away a perfectly good cleaning cloth? Like, yeah, I know it's got blood on it, but maybe you could, like, wash it or something.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
Princess Piggles.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I still hate that name. Why were there so many P's? Why?
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Oh, please, let's clean the glasses cloth and just start leaving it around Byakuya. Can we please just like smuggle it into his clothes? Jill, that's a perfect job for you. You probably sniff his laundry. Just put it in his pocket so that he keeps finding it. Please, can we do that?
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
That he got up, he had to clean his glasses because he couldn't see shit without them, and then he wandered off.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Yes, it is.
And it must have been him, right?
Right.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Oh, that's I was gonna call this, making the impossible possible, whatever Kyoko said before, but moving his copious corpse, that's also a good title. Oh no!
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Nah, there's blood in the nurse's office, as well as chloroform, apparently.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was Taka himself! No, it was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Yes, it was.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
Yep, he was an accomplice.
I just can't believe it.
Yet you could believe Hero made a robot costume, assaulted Celeste, murdered Hifumi and Taka, and then shoved himself in a locker. You can believe all that, but you can't believe that Hifumi was an accomplice.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note. The thing that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be we want... Because for a minute there I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? Yeah, we want this.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
Don't ask where it was. Please don't.
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Don't you fucking get excited. Don't you dare.
Yes, his pants.
I don't know what tone you're using, Sakura, but I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, because you're my favorite.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Not quite.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
Mate, you were just the one pointing out that it wasn't the same.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants! Hifumi's pants! It was Taka!
I got it! That's right! Taka!
I want to call this episode Hifumi's Pants. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, on that ridiculousness, I'm gonna end the episode right here. So, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below. And if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching and see you in the next episode.